So this is going to be a quick unboxing of the mini0906 dash camera. It comes in this black matte box here, very premium feeling. And to open it up, we just slide it off. And that will reveal another box inside here, which contains the good stuff. So here is the user's guide. So far it seems pretty well written. Talks about some precautions, general maintenance, how to mount it, what the buttons do, etc. So pretty helpful manual. It comes with a lens cleaner for the lens of the camera. Comes with some string. Don't know what that's for yet, but we'll find out, I'm sure. So in the box here, you can see this plastic bit looks like the dash cam itself. So yeah, this right here is the dash camera itself. Pretty large. I wasn't expecting the lens to be so large. Looks nice. Feels pretty solid. Doesn't feel cheap, as a lot of others do. But you can see we have the LCD 3 buttons. They are actual rubber buttons, not the plastic ones that like fall out. I've got some a lens cover on there to protect it during shipment. We got our, I'm assuming that's a mini HDMI port, as well as the SD card slot. So there's 3 other compartments in here. This one is the, so we got the base. You can see there that has a focus. That has a micro USB slot right there. And then the camera slides in there to those connectors. And this part, I guess, connects to the window. There must be a sticky pad in here. So this is the wireless remote. I'll get to that in a minute. This is the rear camera. As you can see, it also has the protective lens cover. Some 3M tape to stick it on the back of the window there. Nice. Alright, here we go. These are the sticky bits. So you got some things to route your cable and then some sticky pads for the actual camera itself to stick to the window. That's all for that box. To get back to this remote here, just to talk about what it does. So this is actually a snapshot remote. So if you push it while you're driving, it'll take a picture. You can see it lights up there. So that could definitely come in handy. It has this little orange brace thing, I guess. Maybe for, you know, putting on a keychain or something. But that should come in handy. Alright, got a couple more compartments here. Let's see what's in this box. Very well packaged so far. Alright, so this is your actual power supply. Alright, this is a USB cable, I'm assuming for charging. And this is the actual car power supply. You can see that goes into the car outlet and powers the device. And the last box in here is the connector cable, which is thicker than I was expecting, but no problem. The connector cable that runs to the rear camera. So you get that there as well. And I believe it's 10 to 20 feet. I may be wrong on that, but it's a pretty decent amount, more than enough to run to the back of your car. So I'm going to go get all this installed. We'll take a video once everything's good to go. On the inside of the car, you can see I have the dash cam mounted right here. The cables run up and down. And then they just plug right into the power socket right here, which does include a USB port, which is very handy, because then you don't lose an entire socket. You can still charge your phone. It works well. The button that is included also has a sticky back, so I just placed that on my car right here. This allows you to push it while you're driving, and a snapshot of whatever you're looking at on the camera will be taken and saved to the SD card. So also up here we got the power going into it, but we also have this other cable, which is the thicker one here, and that actually runs back to the back of my car. You can see the cable's routed around there, and it actually plugs into the rear-facing camera, which again uses sticky pads to stick to the window. So the cable's really easily put up. I mean, you can definitely worry about cable management a little bit better. They include these sticky tab things that basically help you stick the cables to the car. I could care less about visual appearance, but if that's important to you, they do include various ways of mounting. But as you can see, there's the camera. So now we're going to drive a little bit and see how it does. So here we are driving on a pretty standard road in a very sunny condition. As you can see, very realistic driving conditions here. Just a heads up, if you are watching this video in the Amazon review section, I've also included a YouTube URL to watch the full high-definition video. As you can probably tell, Amazon compresses the video quite heavily and makes the quality pretty awful. So to get the full effect of this, I've included a YouTube clip to see the full HD version. So please check that out if you do want to see better quality. But you do get the idea here. It handles sunlight very well, as you can see, and it does a great job of recording it. So now we're going to switch to some video clips of the front and rear camera in other driving conditions. So here's a quick example, again driving during daytime. I'll show you 20 seconds of this first front camera clip, and then 20 seconds of the rear camera clip. So in this next clip here, this is just a demonstration of some nighttime driving. More like evening, but the sky was much darker than the camera showed here. So again, just like the other two clips, I'm going to show you 20 seconds of the front-facing camera and 20 seconds of the rear camera in low-light conditions, such as evening driving. So in this next clip here, I'm going to switch to the onboard microphone of the Dashcam itself, just to give you a audio test of the microphone's performance. So, this is going to be a quick test of the microphone as well as daytime driving. Where I'm currently driving, it's pretty overcast today, a very cloudy day, so pretty realistic driving situation right here. As you can see, the video quality is excellent on both the front and rear camera. And the audio quality is pretty decent as well for a dash cam. You also have the option to mute the camera, which I normally do. I don't need sound recorded, but in case you are curious, this is what the microphone sounds like, and it's pretty good quality. It's more than enough to make out a conversation. So this is a look at the SD card and how all the folders are laid out. I am using a 32 gigabyte SanDisk SD card, one of the Class 10 ones, the fancy ones. And you can see the camera automatically generates all these folders. We get a front, rear, GPS, Novatech, and photo folder. And this is pretty self-explanatory. The front folder contains all the video files taken from the front camera. The rear folder contains all the video files taken from the rear camera. The photo folder is filled with pictures that you take whenever you press the remote button to take a snapshot. It takes both a front and a rear image, both simultaneously, as you can see there. So that's what the photo folder is for. We have a Novatech folder, which is just system logs. You don't really have to read into this, but it could come in handy if you're trying to debug an issue that you're having. And the GPS keeps a GPS.log file of the GPS coordinates that the camera sees. So, to give you an idea of how much space you will need, I have a 32 gigabyte drive, and you can see in both the front and the rear folders we get about 54 clips, each 3 minutes long, which is more than enough for, you know, your any dash cam needs. And you can see in the rear here we also have 55 items. So you get about 54 to 55 recordings on a single SD card that's 32 gigabytes. This does support up to 128 gigabytes, so keep that in mind. So that's just a real quick look at the folder layout on these SD card. So just to touch on our last few points here, the camera installation itself couldn't have been any easier. You literally just stick it to the window and plug an SD card into it, and it's that easy. So installation, setup, all that stuff, that's a breeze, no worries. More than satisfied with the video quality from both cameras, and all in all, I'd definitely suggest this camera to anyone looking for a really well-built, true HD 1080p wide-angle dash cam. And I want to thank you for watching. If you are watching on YouTube, then there will be a link to the Amazon product in the description. If you are watching on Amazon, then you're already here, and I would strongly suggest this camera. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.